have to fight again, it'll be to take these steps.
As we stand against the war, we also stand behind those who resist it.
More and more U.S. service members are actively refusing to participate in the illegal, immoral invasion and occupation of Iraq.
No more. We have a different path to take, and it doesn't matter what they do to us. It doesn't matter if they take away our honorable discharge, if they put us in prison.
Call it peace or call it treason, call it love or call it reason, but I ain't marching anymore. No, I ain't marching anymore.
I joined up when I was 17. I don't know, if, you know, for some reason I thought that killing people was going to be cool. You know, I don't know why I thought that way at the time, but that's the way I did, and my recruiter definitely, I think, capitalized on that. It was a lot like most people. After September 11th, I felt like I needed to do something to, you know, protect my country. I bought into the whole propaganda, you know, of the reason that we were going over there was to fight for freedom and democracy, and you know they use those words over and over and over again: freedom and democracy, and you know, the whole concept of achieving peace through war. I believe that, and I think that before I joined, maybe my concept of what I thought war was, you know, I've seen war before. Before I joined the military, my idea of war was based on war movies and video games, pretty much. You know what I mean. When I got over there, I saw war for what it really was, and it's not something I want to do anymore. We had like 25 guys in my battalion that died, so it's just you know, that's all you see around you is death and destruction. I didn't see any creation going on. I didn't see any democracy. All I saw was war and death. You know, we were supposed to be over there helping them out, and I mean, from what I saw, there wasn't really much helping out going on. I mean, we weren't out there fixing their plumbing, you know, giving them food and water and electricity. We were, you know, going house to house, waking up little kids in the night, scaring the hell out of them, and scaring families. You know, I saw a lot of just people that literally got off on killing. And they got away with it, you know. They shoot first and ask questions later, basically. You know, there was this one time a vehicle pulled up to our checkpoint that was on our base, and I guess the driver probably couldn't read. Most of them are illiterate, and didn't follow the signs correctly. So they just opened fire on the vehicle and killed. There was a father and his son was in the vehicle, and, you know, just ripped them apart. Didn't get any news coverage whatsoever. It was swept under the carpet like it never happened. There's a lot of stuff like that. Remember another particular event, someone was walking down the road after curfew, which, you know, they're not supposed to be doing. They said that he had like a bag or something with him. So it ended up being a bag of fruit, but they shot him, and, you know, they stuck his body in the back of the truck and brought it back on base, and they were, the soldiers that did this and the one that shot him were like really proud. Really, they thought it was the coolest thing, you know, showing off this body. You know, look what I did. That particular event right there was when I realized that this isn't right. Yeah. Any dumb fuck can kill. Go to school and learn how to maybe save lives and learn how to contribute something good to humanity. instead of destruction. Anyone can kill. You don't have to be smart to shoot a gun.
Right here is the children's garden, which was completely created by, maintained, harvested, planted, weeded, everything by the children in our free after school program and free summer camp program. And as you can see, it's spectacular. They use the food that they've grown for snacks as well as to make food for free community events. We recently had an open mic event, a free coffee house event, where the children harvested 2 of their beautiful large pumpkins, made a delicious pumpkin soup out of one of them and served it in a hollowed out, the other pumpkin that was hollowed out. It was quite spectacular and goes to show you where else do you see that happening, and really getting kids involved in gardening, in urban agriculture, in really, things that kids living in a city don't generally have access to, especially low-income and at-risk children and special needs children. And it goes hand in hand with, on the other side of our building, we have a garden of happiness with a lot of native plants and drought-resistant plants that have all been intentionally created. We have a water collection system off of this building that goes to water all of the garden. Here you see we installed a cistern to collect water, which we use to flush one of our toilets. So it's quite from rainwater. So it's quite amazing what a community driven place can do. The Cascade People Center is a nonprofit family support center that's been around for almost a decade now. It started because this is an old parks and recreation building that was going to be torn down. The community rallied together almost 10 years ago and wanted to save it to create a free, welcome community space that would be open to everyone in this community. And so they were successful in doing that, and it became Cascade People Center, and now serves hundreds of families, I think over 600 families a year. Lots of children. They offer many free programs that are decided pretty much by what the community wants. So there's a big need for childcare programs. So there's a free after school program, free summer camps, free camps during school breaks for parents who otherwise could not afford childcare. There's the children's garden, which has become a big program. The center is in the process of an eco-renovation, which will turn this building into a green building, which will become an environmental education center. That was also sparked by the community interest in doing that.
My family doesn't have very much money, so it's all free and it's very eco, and they teach us to garden, and it's just a really nice place, and I think it's just wrong to tear it down.
There's everything from free yoga classes to parenting classes to support groups. Whatever the community wants is what happens here. Anyone can walk in this center, anyone can volunteer, anyone can attend a program, everything is free. And it's really the last place in the city left like that that's so unique and so special and so community driven. Truly, truly a community place.
Every day after school I can take the bus home and I just walk down here, and they have an after school program called Ujima. And what they do is they have like a homework club, and you can read and do arts and crafts, and it's very fun.
If you look around this neighborhood, which used to be a working class neighborhood, lots of families, lots of residents, it's been really taken over by the rampant development that's coming on in what they now call South Lake Union. We still call it the Cascade neighborhood because that's what it's been for a long, long time, and that's what it will always be. And as we look around and see condos popping up literally left and right, literally surrounding the Cascade People Center, This is one of the last places in this community and in the city that's truly a place for the people.
See, the Cascade is going to be torn down because the government decided to not give them any more money, so we're trying to protest because this is such a great place.
And so the city of Seattle has denied the Cascade People Center application for requests for investment, which is a grant that comes up every 3 years, and the city funded it for the Cascade People Center the last 3 years, which provided, about 65% of the center's operating budget. So the majority of funding that goes into supporting this place and making this an open, inviting, amazing place with programs for everybody. And the application was denied 2 weeks ago now, I believe. And we are appealing that decision. But what that means is that the center is facing closure because of the city's decision not to fund the center.
What's so good about this Cascade Center?
Well, it just brings together lots of people. It gives a space for people to have meetings and to organize, and those kinds of spaces aren't really available or not available for free, and that's really important.
What kind of organizations gather and meet in your center?
Well, I am involved with Coalition of Anti-Racist Whites, and we meet there once a week. I also know that there's another group called Justice Works, and they work with people who are just getting out of prison or trying to get themselves out of the prison industrial complex cycle. And so I know that those are two groups that use it, and my understanding is that there's scores more of them.
I mean, where else can someone who lives on the street, a Microsoft employee, a single mom, and the barista who works around the corner all come to the same place, meet each other, hang out, go to an open mic? You just don't find that anywhere else. And, losing that is a huge loss to this city. And so we're appealing the decision, and but beyond that, if you see the community response, we're marching, we're rallying, we're going down to City Hall today. There's a budget hearing, a public hearing on the budget happening, and we have collected over 750 signatures on our petition. We have many letters in support. All the kids who come to our program wrote pretty heartbreaking letters about what their life would be like if the center was to close. This is truly a second home or a first home for so many people, and you can't replace that.
It's a good place, and it takes care of me, and it really helps my mom a lot by watching me.
We do know it's not for lack of meeting outcomes that we had in the past 3 years when we were funded. We know it's not because, we didn't meet the requirements needed. We had a very strong application that many community members were involved in writing and editing and creating the RFI, the grant proposal, which is quite amazing. And I would argue that we're probably the only family center who applied who has that kind of community involvement. It's not staff running this place at all. Volunteers do the majority of work to keep this place open and all the programs. And we don't know why. The city won't give us a straight answer.
Save Cascade! 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 Save Cascade!
We love Cascade, and we don't want it to go away. There's after-school programs and summer programs. It's very important to us.
Well, what would you do if Cascade weren't here?
Well, it would be kind of bad because I go on the bus. If my mom isn't there and she isn't answering her door, then I go there to call them. So that would be kind of bad.
So if your mom isn't home or she can't answer the door, then you can go to Cascade and get a hold of her through them.
Yeah.
We worry about it because we have a lot of programs happening on the center, and all the programs that we offer to the community and the families are all free. So we worry about those families who are going to need those programs, and it's not going to be happening anymore. So that is why we're doing this rally, to let people know that they're trying to shut it down, Cascade, and we need the support and we need the funding.
If you look, they're funding the South Lake Union trolley, known as the Slut, which kind of says a little bit about what the city has become, right? So You know, if you're Paul Allen and you can throw money around and build condos and create a trolley for people who live in your buildings to go work at your other buildings, you know, in a 2-mile loop, and the city's putting $50.5 million towards that trolley. One of the stops is right here, a block away. And they can't find $200,000 a year to run a family center that serves families, that serves low-income people, that serves folks at risk. You know, this neighborhood used to have a huge homeless population, and now they've been driven out over time, and the demographics in this neighborhood has changed. But what hasn't changed is the commitment to Cascade People Center, and it's pretty amazing to see even families who've been pushed out of housing as houses are torn down and low-income housing turns into real estate, that it's pretty amazing to see families coming back to events, sending their kids to camp, to after-school program, coming from all over because of what this place means. It's pretty incredible.
He owns Lake Union and the EMP. He owns half the city council, but he don't own me. You want to fondle your portfolio, you've come to the right place. You like high-rise, go get yourself a condo with a happy face, with a Starbucks in every corner, and your own cash machine. Now I know what they mean when they call it evergreen. We used to call it Seattle, Jewel of the Puget Sound. We used to call it Seattle, now we call it Paul Allentown. Don't give up and don't give in. If you'll stand the street again, I'll stand by your side and we'll shout down the wind. The storm clouds rolling in. You know there must be something done, but you don't know where to begin. Don't give up and don't give in. If you'll stand the street again, I'll stand by your side and we'll shout down the wind. I'll stand by your side and we'll shout down the wind. I'll stand by your side and we'll shout down the wind.
It's the Red Door of Happiness, which is the front door of the Cascade People Center. And I think that I should have called it the Red Door of Happiness because when you enter the door, you just feel great.
I'm leaving town to Ridge Track, always float to the top. The famous dads, they won't be stopped. It's one or the other, both are of us. Each has a face in every contrast with choices like these. I'm out of here, choices like these. Give me a beer, choices like these. I'm gonna scream, someone wake me from this bad dream. Care about us. Every 4 years we jump on the bus, select a new commander-in-chief, anoint the nation's #1 thief, steal from the rest, give to the rich. Please take part, but barely a glitch. With choices like these, I'm out of here. Choices like these, give me a beer. With choices like these, I'm gonna scream, someone wake me from this bad dream. the people in pain? Who is the heart? Who is the nerve to say it's past time for healing the earth? Who sells out? Who's unafraid? Who kowtows to the corporate charade? With choices like these, I'm out of here. Choices like these, give me a beer. Choices like these, I'm gonna scream. Someone wake me from this bad dream. The other one's slow, the goose gets cooked, either way you go. Up for a four, up for a loom, different key, same tune. Puppets they are, puppets they'll be for the clique who run our country. With choices like these, I'm out of here. Choices like these, give me a beer. Choices like these, I'm gonna scream. Someone wake me from this bad dream. Dragging our heels, putting up with all the backroom deals, yanked around by the same old man, screwing us over and over again. They lead us to war, poison our food. Yeah, you could say I'm in a bad mood. With choices like these, I'm out of here. Choices like these, give me a beer. With choices like these, I'm gonna scream. Someone wake me from this bad dream. Someone wake me from this bad dream. Someone please wake me from this bad dream.
Here we are in front of the federal courthouse in Tacoma, Washington. It is October 19th, 2007. People have gathered here in support of Aaron Wattada against the occupation of Iraq by the U.S. government. These people have just heard today that federal court judge, Mr. Settle, has decided that he will stay the trial, the military trial of Lieutenant Wattada until November 9th. Still, the people have come out in the freezing rain to demonstrate in support of Lieutenant Wattada.
I'm Commander U.S. Navy, retired. I'm President Veterans for Peace up from Portland, Oregon. I took an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Article 6.2 of that Constitution says treaties signed by the country become part of the law of the land. That includes the Nuremberg Accords, where the greatest criminal offense is aggressive invasion of another country. We have done that with Iraq. It's pretty much all over the internet. It's common knowledge. That's violation of the Constitution, violation of the law. Aaron Wattada took an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. That is what he is doing. He's in a minority, and now he's being court-martialed for it because he clearly believes it's an illegal war. It's against the Constitution. It's against the Nuremberg Accords. That's why I'm here too, to support and defend the Constitution. I look at foreign enemies to the Constitution. I don't find very many, but I look locally. It's being violated all over the place. Top of the violator list is Bush and Cheney. So Aaron Wattada is a hero. He should be acquitted. He should be given a medal, not court-martialed. That's why I'm here.
Do you see any evidence that whereas he might have at one time had a minority opinion, that now he has the majority of U.S. citizens behind him, in the sense that there's rising opposition to the war?
Oh yes. By the way, consider it an occupation rather than a war. An occupation is something you leave sometime, but the American people are becoming aware more and more. Over 70% now, I understand from polls, are in favor of getting out of Iraq. Many consider it illegal. Within the military itself, I understand that 70% or so, just reflecting the population, are of the opinion we should get out now.
And do you know what has happened today? I mean, a federal judge has made a stay of the military court. What does that mean exactly?
That means that the civilian federal court system has jurisdiction over military courts. Very rarely is that exercised, so this is a very rare occasion. In this case, double jeopardy. So this is a landmark precedenting case where a civilian U.S. court is exerting its influence over a military court-martial, protecting the Constitution-given right of double jeopardy. So this is really a great occasion. I certainly hope that it follows through and double jeopardy is upheld.
This t-shirt, I put it on this guy because I'm sure he agrees with us that Lieutenant Watada should be lauded for his courage and not prosecuted for standing up against an illegal and unjust war.
I'm here to support Lieutenant Watada's stand against the military and this illegal war in Iraq, and also to support anybody who's against this war in Iraq. We shouldn't be there. We never should have gone there. It was based on false premises by the Bush administration, and the hundreds of thousands of Iraqis that have died and the thousands of American soldiers and coalition troops that have died are a crime against humanity. Bush should be impeached. The whole administration should be impeached. So this is kind of like an all-inclusive protest against what this administration has done to our country and to the American people and the Iraqi people.